There we go. So hopefully that gives you a good look of the stump that we want to remove. Let me give you a relatively up-close look at the rebar. So right there, there's a rod of rebar that ran into while cutting down the tree. Only destroyed a couple of my chains before realizing the problem, and used a reciprocating saw with a bimetal blade to cut off the rest of it, and realized after the fact that if I had come up a couple more inches, I would have missed the rebar entirely, but oh well. Oh, hey, baby kisses. Good to see you. I don't know how responsive I'll be to the chat on this one, because I'm going to try cutting this thing out. So if I run into problems, I'll probably consult the chat. So if you've got suggestions, go ahead and shoot them at me, and see what we can do to get this thing out of here. All right. I am using a Greenworks 80-volt chainsaw with an Oregon chain. I might have dulled this chain a little bit in trying to cut up the rest of the tree, which you can kind of see here. And just give you a little perusal of what we've already removed or cut down. We did pretty well of avoiding damage, bringing this thing down. The only main damage was a little bit to the lilacs over there. And then I think this is a cherry tree. It got a little bit beat up as some of the branches of the willow came and smacked it pretty hard. But the fence was undamaged. I've taken off the rails there. Ew, just lost my microphone. I've taken off the top rails of the fence over there, so that we can more easily remove all of the yard waste. We'll just remove those fence panels and put a trailer out here by the street and get everything out of here. But yeah, so the fence wasn't damaged, so the tree didn't even touch the house on the way down. So pretty pleased with how it fell. I did need some help though, because I was a little overambitious, cut into it, and then realized after I got all of the cutting done on the stump that there was just way too much weight on the back side. So I tried putting wedges back here, but the weight of the tree was just compressing the wedges instead of pushing the tree over. And so got some friends from church. They came over and had some long pole saws. We were able to take off some branches on this back end, and then it fell right where we wanted it to. So I'm going to just try cutting straight down into the stump, obviously trying to avoid the rebar. I think there might be more rebar, maybe on the opposite side. So I'm going to try to steer clear of this area, at least at first, and just see if we can't get this thing broken apart. So here goes. You know what? I think this chain is a little too dead from when I hit some metal and trying to break up this other stuff. So let me change that chain real quick, and I'll just set that there. And let me go grab a new chain. Sadly, I've gotten a lot of experience in changing the chain the last couple of days because of that rebar and everything else. Did it wrong several times, which obviously gives you lots of opportunity to learn how it's supposed to be done. So hopefully now that I'm on camera, I'll do it right, because I don't want to do it wrong for the whole world to see. Let me just check the chat while I'm checking it. Small saw, yeah. You know, it works pretty well, and you know, being battery powered. Let's see. Can you cut it down instead of across? Yeah, that's my plan. I want to cut down on it since I don't want to. I don't want to hit that rebar again. So, all right. Use oil to burn the stump. Yeah, I could burn it. It's, you know, it's still pretty live. I mean, we just cut it down within the last couple of days, so I'm not sure how well it would burn, and I don't think the association, the homeowners association here, would much appreciate me, you know, having an oil burn right here. So anyway, got the wrench right here. So just remove these guys, remove that. I do like this little Greenworks chainsaw. It's not sponsored or anything, but it's been pretty good. So I'll just remove that chain, sharpen him later. And yeah, I picked up these Oregon chains, and they have worked pretty dang well until they hit metal. For some reason, metal is not that great for them. So this is another of the tricky parts. Actually, I should have put this chain in that packaging before tossing it. There we go. Can be a little tricky getting, oh, thank goodness, that worked so well. A lot of times the chain kind of gets caught on itself, and so it can be a little tough to get it situated properly, but thankfully it worked right out of the packaging this time. All right, then need to make sure it's situated on the gear there, and get it around that. There we go. And I'm going to tension it up a little bit here. And of course the case is over there, so hopefully it doesn't come undone before I can get the cover on. And when I put these on, I just want to hand tighten them for now, and then I can tension the chain up to where it needs to be, and then tighten these down with the wrench so that they're nice and snug. So I'll do a little bit more tension than that. And that's close. And that's probably good. For those of you who are much better with chainsaws, let me know if I'm tensioning that too much or too little. That feels a little too tight. Yeah, so it's got a little bit of give there. It's been a while since I looked at the manual. Let me check our chat here. You can use oil, yep. And oh yeah, Suzanne, good to see you. Raja, good to see you. Don't tell them you can't burn at night. They never know. Yeah, maybe not. Drill holes down along the rebar. Ooh, that's not a bad idea. Pull it out. I think the rebar probably goes all the way down into the ground. So that'd have to be a pretty long drill hole. I don't have any drill bits that long. It still looks tight. You think so? All right. I'll reduce the tension a little bit more. It's probably good. Yeah, so I don't think I'd be able to drill holes down, and then I might be drilling the hole too close to the rebar and just kill my drill bit too. So I think my best bet is just to try to steer clear of the rebar and hope that there aren't any other metal objects that I'm cutting into. So. All right. So I'm down to if I can find a stable spot for the so I'm down to here. And I don't want to get the blade in the dirt. So I'm going to come back over here, attack it from the other side. All right, so far so good. Yeah, weird that the rebar's in there. Is that what you're saying, baby kisses? Doing good. Hey, Mike. Carbon. No, I'm Mike. You probably missed earlier, but I'm not going to try carving this guy because when I was cutting it down, I killed 2 chains because I found rebar. So, you know, I don't want to risk finding more rebar. Or I found some other metallic objects in this thing as I was cutting it up. So you can kind of see, for those who weren't here earlier, here's what we've already cut up of the willow tree. And while cutting this up, I found several other metallic objects embedded in the tree. So I'm not going to risk carving it because, number one, I'm probably not artistic enough to really make it look good anyway. And we want to put a couple of a couple fruit trees over in this area. Just a little cherry tree and a little apple tree. So I just want to get this guy out of here so it's, you know, nice and clear. Yeah. So maybe into a chair. I do have an angle grinder. Let's see. Why would it be so far in? Oh, I think the rebar was placed when the tree was little as a support, and then they just never removed the rebar, and so the tree just grew around it. That's my guess. So I think that's why it's there. The chair, maybe make it. I do have a grinder. I don't know that. Yeah, I talked to the missus about possibly carving it, and her reaction was something like hell no. Might have had used stronger language, but probably not. She's not a potty mouth like sometimes I am. And, okay, yeah, I'll be able to hold it up. Yep, exactly. Yep. All right. So I think I'm just going to try quartering it basically here, and go from there. There's a safety on this, so you know it's got the the chain brake there, but also there's an actual power button on this guy, and if you don't use it for a little bit, it powers off. So that's a nice little safety feature. If let's say you put the saw down for a little bit, and then you've got your curious 5-year-old over here, they'd have to actually hit that power button before before they'd be able to operate the saw. And then of course it also has the safety and the trigger, but it's not nearly as loud as a gas powered, and it's powerful enough for what I'm doing. So I mean, obviously somebody who's cutting down tree after tree is going to need something a lot more robust and gas powered, because you won't have enough battery power to last for that long. But with the 4 amp battery, this lasts surprisingly long. We got through cutting down most all of this, or cutting this up, all these branches. Pretty much, we had one other guy with a chainsaw, but it was pretty much this one and the other chainsaw that the gas powered chainsaw was inoperable for most of the time because of an issue with the chain. So anyway, let me get back to cutting. And then I was talking so long that it powered down again, so I have to power back on. All right. So the sad thing about this willow is that willow trees are, as far as I know, not really good for anything. So as much as I'd like to, use this wood to, to make something, it's just not really good for woodworking. Sad but true. All right. I'd kind of like to stay on this same line. And if you can see the spider that's maybe thinking this isn't the best home for him anymore. There he is. If you can see him climbing around in there, thinking maybe he should find somewhere else to live. Okay, let's see. Okay, as a baby, yeah, crazy so far in. A lot of willow boxes on there. Yeah, yeah. Is like you guys tell me. Do you have experience working with willow? Heard it's too brittle to really do anything with, and not really even good for burning because it's not very dense, and so it just burns up real quick, and you're just left with a lot of ash and not a lot of warmth. Wood books. I don't know that I'm familiar with wood books. I mean, all books are made out of wood, kind of. Paper derives from wood, so aren't all books wood books? I think you can whittle and carve with it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's probably actually pretty easy to whittle with. I don't really do much whittling when I don't have to. Walking sticks are all whittle. Yeah, and there's actually quite a few large curvy sticks that I could use for that, but they're just so brittle. I mean, this is a really brittle wood. So, I mean, obviously this isn't, probably I won't be able to snap this just because I'm on camera, but it's pretty easy. And it's pretty lightweight, which, could make it really good for a walking stick, but I just worry that it wouldn't really last. Okay. So you use willow and elm from arborist, not bad. It's just a boring grain. Joe, try to pick out a dozen out thicker than that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got, let's see, as far as some of the longer stuff here and thicker for a walking stick, but, there's quite a few options. But, and even more if we go more over there, but yeah, so yeah, maybe. But as far as this stuff, you think like boxes and like other than walking sticks, what else can I really make out of willow? Is there really any? I was thinking to just get rid of it, but maybe I'm underestimating the value of the willow. Let me flat and dry, yeah. It planes nice, not hard on the tools. Yeah, that's easy to believe. I think it's pretty soft, and candle holders, wood spirits. Okay, hang on to some of it. Yeah, I actually cut out a few for kind of stump seating around the fire pit. But I was also thinking to just hold on to some just for some firewood. I don't have an endless supply of firewood right now, so I thought maybe that'd be good. But if you guys think I can actually make stuff out of it, maybe I'll hold on to more of it. Yeah, I've got some stuff that's like this, right? But part of the reason why this isn't cut up more is because I know there's metal in this guy. They stuck, it looks kind of like a bike holder. And then there's another like piece of that little rubber sticking out right here. So I'm sure there's metal there. There's a piece right over here that cracked open right here. And whoa, I don't know how well you can tell this, but right here, there's it's kind of a darker color, and then just kind of a hole right there. That's because there was a metal spike on the opposite side of where this split. I tried cutting through right here, and I mean, I did cut through, but then you see where it's kind of discolored, ran into something that started sparking. And so I stopped with the chainsaw and then just pried the rest of it open. Over here, I tried cutting this guy off, but got a few inches down and started hearing something that sounded like metal on metal. Decided it's probably a good time to stop. So yeah, most of the larger chunks we didn't cut down more because of the metal that we found. So I mean, that's a pretty good sized bit. I wouldn't be able to pick that one up on my own. Maybe even without help. Maybe even with help, I wouldn't be able to pick it up. But yeah, most of the rest of them we cut down small enough that they'd be easy to load up and take away. All right, let's see. Okay, good. Use it in the fireplace. Yeah, Julia, I could use it in the fireplace. I mean, I've got a fire pit that I was thinking to possibly use it at, but my understanding is that it doesn't provide a lot of heat and does provide a lot of ash. And so I'll probably at least save some of it for the fire pit, but maybe not. All right, the bark is what stops everyone. It's a painted bark. You bandsaw it, otherwise mill it. The live edges can be. Yeah, I can take off the edges on the bandsaw. That's not too. Yeah, if I bandsaw, yeah, if I just cut it up on the bandsaw, is that what you're saying? Just cut it into boards on the bandsaw. I just need to get it because my bandsaw only has like a 6-inch capacity, so I just need to get them small enough that I could fit it on the bandsaw. But yeah, I could cut them up that way. Some plants love ashes. Yeah, that's probably true. I am definitely not much of a green thumb, so maybe you can enlighten me as to what plants really like ashes. We've got my wife loves the irises that we trampled over here in taking everything down. We're actually going to transport those or transplant them over to the side of the house anyway, because they don't get enough sun over here. At least that's my guess as to why they never bloom very well. So yeah, resaw the smaller stuff. Yeah. Yep. All right, let me get back at this. All right, don't want to go too low to where I'm hitting dirt because that dulls the blade really quickly. All right, so got it quartered now, almost down to the ground on all sides. Let me see here how close I am to the ground. Go a little deeper. And a little deeper over here. All right. So I'm not sure how much more I want to try to do there. One of the things I was thinking is to just build a little regular fire, not an oil fire, baby kisses, just a regular fire right in the middle, and just see if I can burn it out that way. I'm not sure how long that'll take, but could take quite a while. So, what do you guys think? Should I try burning the rest of it, or doing something else here? Let's see. Resaw smaller stuff. Okay. My sister had huge plants. She did put ash around. Okay. Cuts a hell of a lot straighter. Mike, I'm sure you're a straight cutter. Don't sell yourself too short. The thing that helps me cut straight is the bar is straight. So if the bar were bent, I'd have a lot harder time. But yeah, I think the problem with stump grinding is, again, that rebar. So I'd need to get that rebar out of there before I'd have any confidence in trying to use a stump grinder, because that rebar would just kill a stump grinder anyway. Yeah, it'll be, yeah, stuff it into the center, burn it out. Yeah. Drill holes in it first, let it dry a while. Yeah, a lot of water in it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's going to be pretty wet, so probably pretty tough to burn, and a lot of smoke as it burns. And so then the association and or the city could get after me for burning something. I'm also a little concerned about just all the trees right above it. Don't really want to catch those on fire, although they're more green than obviously even the stump is here. So I'd like to just build a huge little fire there, and huge little fire. Great oxymoron there, right? Okay, I think you found the spot for your new fire pit. Yeah, well, I've got a fire pit over on the other side, but yeah, the intent was to have put a couple new fruit trees over here. So a little dwarf cherry tree and a dwarf apple tree. So I was thinking would be nice for this area in here. And then instead of a willow that is constantly dropping dead sticks on the yard, we'd have some fruit trees that are dropping cherries and apples instead. So I'm thinking these are going to be way too difficult to extract on their own without cutting them up a lot more. Maybe I'll try coming out them down lower and just take out a quarter at a time, but leave that quarter for now. And maybe try zeroing in on that rebar a little bit. What do you guys think? Just try cutting them lower to the ground and then just removing each quarter. Do you think I should try burning it? I'd like to get it out of here sooner rather than later, so I can put the new trees in and not have to worry about damaging those trees while dealing with the stump. So that's why I'm not really anxious to sit around and wait for it to dry. But what do you guys think? I'll tap into the immense brain trust of the YouTube live here. Art. Oh, that's sorry, Suzanne. I saw art on the. It was coming up. Your name was coming up on the second line, and I thought you were saying art instead of art just being part of the name there. But call them before you have a fire. Burn one section, it'll burn out because it's willow. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk to the association about it at all, because I'm pretty sure the association rules are that I have to get an authorization before even cutting down a tree in my backyard, which I didn't. So I'd rather not talk to them about it. So I guess I shouldn't have admitted that on the live broadcast, but whatever. All right. So everyone's saying yes, try it. All right. Let's do it. And then hopefully there isn't any more rebar for me to hit. All right. Just checking to see how far over I can go without hitting that rebar. I've got I can't go all the way full depth, or I might hit it. Let me get back in here. Oh, let's see. Need to get a little bit more. Hey, that wasn't too bad. All right. What do you guys think so far? Yeah, lots of squirrels. That's one of our problems here. Actually, is the squirrels love our garden, and they love digging in our garden and digging up the seeds and the young plants. So I actually built. I'll do a little detour as I catch my breath. Do a little detour over here. So you get to see here's the little dwarf cherry tree that I want to put in over there. And then the apple tree is not out here. So anyway, I just built these little cages to put over the garden boxes. So it's basically just some redwood 2x3s with a little dado cut out of the center. And then the chicken wire fed in there. And then I've just got screws securing one side of the dado cut to the other side, trapping the chicken wire in there. Still haven't planted anything, although it seems like there's stuff that's already growing without my permission. And then here's the fire pit area over here. And I made these benches out of an old log that was hanging out here. I've got a video about those that I made a while back. Not a build video, but just showing them a little bit. But I made the legs a little too narrow, so they're too wobbly. So I'm thinking to modify those. That might be a future video. So anyway, here's the current wood pile. So I'm thinking supplement it maybe with the willow, This stuff is all, dry and seasoned. And yeah, and then the fire pit. This is a branch that fell down in the front yard. It was in my driveway when I came home last night. So anyway, make our way back over to the stump to be removed. So, okay. I like those. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we like the yard. It's the thing that I hate the most about it is right there. We've got kind of the main road for the subdivision that goes right by the house, and there's a pathway, a walkway that is pretty well utilized, although no one's on it right now. And so tons of people walk right by our backyard, and especially over down by the garden boxes. The ground level on our side of the fence and the other side of the fence are pretty close to the same. So it's really easy to just kind of look into the yard from outside. And so not a ton of privacy, at least not in this part of the yard. But back over in this corner, we've got a little bit more privacy. But the grass doesn't grow very well over there. So, because it's been really shaded. Hopefully this willow being gone will give it a little bit more sun and maybe help it to grow a little better, but I'm not that confident. The last 2 years we've only been here for 2.5 years, but the last 2 years I've planted grass over here, and it's a little bit better than when we first moved in, but yeah. Let's see. Fence. Fence to me looks great. Yeah, the fence is good. The problem is down at that end. It's just a lot closer to the ground level of the pathway, so we just don't have a lot of privacy. Anyone walking by, any adult walking by anyway, is tall enough to to see in, and they can see pretty much all the way to over here. So it's just the lack of privacy. I mean, the fence looks good. Oh, hey, Carrie, welcome in. We are removing a stump. Trying to anyway. Just got a chunk out of it, and I've quartered it from the top, and trying to avoid this piece of rebar that we found while cutting into the tree. And so I'm gonna get back at cutting down to the bottom here. And another quarter bites the dust. You're probably only seeing the shoulder up. Yeah. There is a lot of wood. We've got a birch right here that my wife doesn't like and wants to remove. It's leaning toward the fence. So I thought about taking this one down, not too much, but I might. And then, river birch, from my understanding, is pretty good wood. And there's another river birch in the front yard that I might like to cut down and use for wood as well. So we'll see. All right. Yep. Yeah, it is pretty awesome. We like it here. cost too much, but you know, is what it is. Oh, looks like I'm getting kind of low on battery now. So, you know, the battery power is pretty good for what I need as a, you know, just a little homeowner here. But like I was saying earlier, if you're, you know, if you're a logger or something, then obviously this battery type system isn't going to work for your primary solution. But you know, works really well for me. So let's see if I can get any more out of this battery before I have to switch. All right, 3/4 done. All right, be good to carve. Yeah, yeah, those chunks, then that might be worth carving something out of, but I don't really have any skill in that, so they would definitely be practice chunks. All right, so now I'm trying to decide how daring I am. How straight do I think that rebar is, or has it grown out as the tree grew up? Because the center of the tree is here. I would have thought that they'd put the rebar pretty close to the trunk, assuming that it's from when they first planted the tree. So I wouldn't be surprised if that rebar actually goes down into the ground at an angle. And so I'm reluctant to try to cut anything between the rebar and the center. But maybe it would be safe to cut out here and out here. Thoughts? What do you guys think? Right on. Leave it, it'll crack more. Put a wedge and pound it down. Yeah, that's true. I just really want it out. I mean, now that I've got it down to where it's at now, I might try burning the rest of the stump down. But I think being able to get rid of that, as much of that chunk as I can, will make it a lot easier to burn whatever's left there. So am I wrong thinking? Drill holes in the stump? Yeah. Are you saying drill holes in this guy? And if so, are you thinking just on the top or on the side as well? What are you thinking? Or are you thinking drill holes and with some crappy drill bits and see if I can find where that rebar is? That might not be a bad idea. In fact, let me go get a drill and some drill bits. I'll if you want to come along for the ride. The shop is still in a bit of disarray because of this project and oh, quite a bit darker in here. Still need to put the cherry wood away, but let me get the drill and let's see, some big bits. All right, some big old bits that I'm not that worried about. Yeah, this is the first drill bit set that I ever bought. Whoa, and drill bits aren't even staying on there. Lost the cover for the case a long time ago. And all right, here we go. Come back to the stump, and then for anyone who didn't see the results of our cutting down the willow tree earlier, here it is. So when my wife came out as we were cutting everything up, she said it looked like Land of the Lost. But to be fair, the tree was still quite a bit higher up. We were still cutting stuff down, so it doesn't look quite as crazy as it did when she came out and looked. So, all right. The holes, morning all. Oh, hey, Kevin. Good to see you. And let's see what we can do here. So, baby kisses, were you thinking in the sides as well as on back? Just try to probe and see if we can find the rebar where the bar is in there, or are you just saying drill for the fun of drilling? Drill, baby kisses, drill. Is that how you roll? No, no wonder it won't go down any farther. I guess it's safe to put my knee on the sawdust here. Didn't want it to get all wet and muddy. Okay. All right. An earth magnet. Let water come out. Try not to break it in bits. Carving it, no, Kevin, not carving. Just trying to remove it. But I would just cut it off. But when I was cutting into the tree to fell it, found some rebar in it. So, oh, right, looking in the wrong spot, right here. I don't know how well you can see that rebar. So, ate up a couple of chains before I realized what was going on. And my best guess is that the rebar was placed there when the tree was little as a support, and then they just left it there and didn't pull it out. So we felled the willow tree. You can see the remnants here, and there's a bunch of other metal that we found as well cutting this up. And so anyway, I would just cut the stump at the base like I did with the rest of it, but I'm worried about killing my chain again. So just trying to think of the best way to remove what's remaining without risking my chain. Yeah, all kinds of metal, splitting the axe, break away the trunk. Yeah. Splitting wedge. I don't have a splitting wedge. I do have a maul, but I don't know that I want to broadcast me trying to use a maul on this because that might be embarrassing for me. Holes in the stump. Piece of hardwood as a one-time use might work. Yeah. You know, I've got a lot of softwood. I don't know that I've got much much hardwood that I could use. Yeah, I tried using wedges to bring the tree down, and it was just, you know, too soft, and so it just, you know, the tree just compressed it until we were able to remove some trees off, or some branches off of the back end. Like good wood. Yeah, the only bad thing is that it's willow. So otherwise, it's great wood, and you know, and that the willow has lots of metal in it wherever. He said willow. Yeah, I said that, baby kisses. That as far as I have been told, what I've read, the willow's not great for woodworking, but Mike earlier said it can be pretty good. Baby kisses mentioned that it can be really good for walking sticks. So I think I'll save at least some of it, and at least play around with it some and just see if there's something good I can do with it. But let's see. So baby kisses, as far as the holes that I'm putting in it, are you thinking to do that just so it can slowly degrade over time? Is that your thought process? Or the willow looks good finished? I think Mike was saying that the bark is problematic, and that's part of why maybe people aren't that excited about it. I was talking to someone else about it. They said that it's too brittle to do much with. But if it's just decorative pieces, then, you know, maybe I'm not that worried about, you know, how strong it is. When I looked it up, it is good for turning and bending, but not for structural things. Yeah, that makes sense. It's supposed to have beautiful grain. Yeah, and I think I mean, I don't know if you can see the grain pattern there. Let me collapse the tripod here so you can get a better look at what this looks like here. That's pretty. And then over here, these are the other quarters that I removed already. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some possibilities there. So you can see it. Okay, good. And let me get the tripod back how it's supposed to be. Oh, hey, Vineyard. Spalted. Yeah, I guess it does look a bit spalted, doesn't it? And Vineyard, just so you know what we're doing, removing this stump of willow. I got, we already cut it down. So here's the tree as it lays now. And I'm gonna get a look for it. But I've been hesitant to remove this quarter of, because when we were cutting down the tree, we found rebar in it. And so trying to remove the remaining segment without having to cut through that rebar and possibly damage more chains. So make spoons and bowls, decorative things. Yeah, the bowls, I've seen really nice bowls on lathes. I don't have a lathe. I'm not really planning to get one. Copper pipe or nails will kill the stump. Not as good as those blue crystal things. Yeah. Copper pipe or nails will kill the stump. Tell me more about the copper pipe or nails and the blue crystal things, Kevin. And is that slow degradation or something quick? Because I'm wanting to get rid of the stump quickly so that I can put some other trees over here without having to worry about damaging them when I get rid of the rest of the stump here. Okay. So I'm gonna keep probing a little bit to see if I can find if that rebar comes down here in the center. And hey, anyone that hasn't already, if you want to like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. That we can get you some fun content that isn't always removing stumps, but a lot of what I do relates to woodworking and garage projects, and just all sorts of fun like that. So let's see. Haven't hit the rebar yet with the drill bit. Just have to clarify. I have hit the rebar with the chain a few times, not with the drill bit yet. But it'd also be really easy to miss the rebar since this is such a small drill bit that I'm working with here. So now that I've got some holes there. I will upgrade to a little bit bigger drill bit. A lot harder drilling in with this 1/2-inch drill bit than it was with the smaller one. See if I can find the right hole for this to go in. Been a while since I used this drill bit set. All right. Okay. Oh. Hey, Dylan. Good to see you. Okay. All right. Wood furniture, creating whisker-like baskets. Okay. And hello, hello. Leave it with holes. Yeah, I'm sure the bugs would get in it and kill it over time, but I just want it removed a lot faster than that. Woodpeckers. Okay, gotcha. And quick as a stump grinder, right? But the stump grinder wouldn't do well with that rebar in there. Copper nails pipe will kill a tree stump over time. Okay. Blue crystal things, rotting it. Okay, still takes. Okay, all right. Yeah, and I'm wanting to get this out faster. Some people burn the stump. Yeah, I was thinking to do that once I got it down to around here. When I had it up at the higher stump level, I was like, that's going to take a really long time. But I might just do a few more cuts into from the top with the chainsaw and these sections that presumably don't have rebar, and then try to start a fire with it. See how that copper sulfate is the blue crystals. Wool is hard to kill. Leave one piece. Keep growing back. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, fill holes with comet. Yeah. Husband tells my son that all the time. I tell my son things all the time, but I don't know that he ever hears me. What's your unboxing video? Oh, I guess I missed your unboxing video. Vineyard, what was it? What did you unbox? His wife likes willow trees. If you're talking about my wife, then no, she doesn't. To drill into the stump to use it effectively. Okay. Cut off the part, don't. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to try here. I think I'm going to try cutting over here and over here. So I think if anything, that rebar is either straight up and down or angled toward the center. Because as the tree grew out, maybe it pushed the willow that way. So I think anything to the outside of it is probably safe to cut into. So probably not going to get too close to it, but just saying that, I probably will get too close to it. But, you know, I think I'll try maybe triangulating a little bit rather than just doing here and here. Maybe I'll try here, here, and then there. But maybe I'm getting too cute. Maybe I just need to be safe and not damage my chains anymore. Don't know if the rebar is in there at an angle, right? Yeah, my son's wife, they have a creek. Oh, okay. Yeah, your son's wife could very well like willow trees. I won't doubt that. But my wife doesn't care for it. And she calls this river birch, she calls it the eczema tree because the skin's always trying to peel. Yeah, wisping away. And this one, it's not nearly as prevalent as the one in the front yard, but that I'm also wanting to remove. So, all right. You may get to see me kill my chain again because I'm going to go for it. But you know what? The chains aren't that terribly expensive. And I've got a sharpening kit too. So, but I might damage it beyond ability for sharpening, like I think I did with my prior chains. So I had to run out and get some new ones because I tried sharpening the other ones and it wasn't working. So, all right, there's the rebar. I think I'll go over to about here. Oh, but you know what? I probably have to change out the battery here pretty quick. Oh, guess what I found? There's the rebar. All right. So I can see it goes at an angle right there. So I think I can safely remove the stuff over here. So I'm going to start with that. Unless there's more than one piece of rebar, which with all the metal that was in this tree, who knows? You freaking kidding me? More right there. So there. Yeah, I think I'm burning this thing out. Yep. Yeah, Carrie was right. Rebar's in there at an angle, and it looks like there's more than one piece of rebar. I don't know what the crap they were doing, but there's rebar all over the place. Do I have any big chisels? Not that big. I've got some pry bars, but I think I'm just gonna chainsaw a little hole here in the middle to make it easier to start a fire. That was maybe not the smartest. If I hadn't, could have cut my foot there. All right, so, oh. But thanks for joining me. If you've enjoyed this, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks. Have a great day. Mm-hmm.